大家好，大家好，
大家好，
歡迎嚟到我嘅頻道。Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I'll be using English to talk about today's topic, which is
finance and living in Australia.
Yeah,
money
monthly
wise.
expenses.
Very expensive to live in Australia.
Oh yes, this is Stewi. This is my partner. He's learning Cantonese, and I one day he can make a video with me using Cantonese. What is our dog doing?
Not sure he wants to be involved, but let's hook in. What did you want to know?
Alright, so today I'm gonna talk about our general expenses, monthly expenses here in Tasmania.
Please don't.
Please don't jump. Alright, let's start with house related expenses first.
Yep.
Alright, so you've got a house and you are paying mortgage for that.
We are.
Sorry.
Yep.
So how much do you spend on a mortgage monthly around?
About 1,700, right?
Yeah,
At the moment, the rates were like lower, and it was actually a lot cheaper when the rates were down.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rates have gone up,
Yes.
and probably going to continue to raise.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was about $1,700.
So other than a house mortgage, how about the insurance? The
Insurance
house
$90
Yes.
per month, or 80, 90 or something like that. I really can't remember exactly what it was, but a rough guide, that's what you're sort of looking at. That's your typical 3-bedroom house. Depends on how much land you've got as well, what sort of dwellings and stuff you've got on the property.
Yes.
That'll effectively impact whether the cost of the insurance is quite expensive. Plus age of the house, what materials it's made out of as well, will determine your insurance premiums.
Right.
This is based on experience. But yeah.
Okay. So the next one is how much do we pay on water bills?
About $100, roughly about $100.
$100
a month.
a
Yeah,
month.
so I usually put about $30 a week in,
Yes.
and that keeps everything ahead.
Yeah.
But when it comes to electricity, like it's a different story, especially during winter. Like put $30 in for electricity per week,
Yes.
and it seems to churn through that $30 very fast. So I think some weeks we go through $90 a week with electricity. Some weeks is incredibly cheap, like $30 a week. But during summer, it seems to be really good because I don't use the heat pump, just your generic electric sort of items. But yeah.
So not everyone know that Tasmania is quite a cold place.
It's freezing. It's freezing.
In most of the months. How many months?
9 months of cold weather.
9 months of cold.
3 months of good weather, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you'll get 3 months of summer.
Yeah. That means.
And I've been in summers before where it's been raining every single month, every single weekend. Like during the days when you're working, it'll be sunny outside. You're like, oh wow, it's gonna be a nice weekend. It comes to Friday and it's raining.
So basically, we're spending so much electricity bills on our heat pump and everything because
you're using more of the hot water too, because you're probably spending longer in the shower because you don't want to get out because it's freezing.
Because it's Tasmania.
More probably hot foods, you use the microwave more. The fridge doesn't have to work as hard. That's a good thing about it. It doesn't have to work as hard. But during summer, that's probably where a lot of your electricity would go in your fridge because it has to work harder to try and keep the temps down. But other than that, that's about it. Electricity is probably the big major thing. Plus the local sort of provider for electricity has put their prices up by, I think it was around 12% as well. So that's a huge hike. When you've got higher bills, that's a big thing. Cost of everything's gone up. So yeah.
So the next one is council rate. What is council rate exactly?
Rates is basically your sewage and water. So your fresh water, your sewage. It also would be the bins. Every second Thursday they come and collect our bins. Which basically you effectively have to pay for that out of your rates. You're paying basically a levy per year to the government in relation to your land tax as well. Essentially, that's built into your rates. If you're renting the property out, then you get land tax, which is a separate thing because you're effectively making a profit off the land.
Yeah.
You're subject to land tax. But rates are a little bit different. Rates is essentially what you pay to the council. So, yeah.
All right. So the next question is, how much do we pay for the network plan per month?
For internet? Internet's about $60 a month at the moment,
yes.
which is not bad based on other plans. I got that through work, so it's a lot cheaper.
Do you think the internet is fast enough for you?
Yeah, it's incredibly quick. Runs. I've never had a single problem. I've like just in terms of like downloading video games, for example, like when I lived in other households, it would take a couple of days to download a game, whereas here it's like a day at maximum, and that's like a big game too. So
it's very good right now compared to
haven't done any internet tests. I've never really had to. I basically put it in, connected it up, and I was like, wow, this is fast as. Play online games and stuff as well, and not have any issues with lag or anything. So it's actually really good here. It works really good.
Because I'm from Hong Kong. Basically, when you're in Hong Kong, they have really good network. It's very quick, but before I moved into Tasmania, people said that the network here was bad. And it is not that bad actually. It is actually quite good. It depends on what plan or what network company you choose.
Depends on the area as well.
The next topic we're talking about is transportation. So, do you use the public transport much here?
Not very often. The public transport, I think, was pretty good here where we live. Where I used to live, it was horrible. They would cost you more than it would be to drive per day. So the buses to get from
city
to
so suburbs, like
where I was living at the time, was quite out of town. It was about probably 30 k's out of town. There was only 3 buses. The 3 buses would cost, I think they were around about $20 up and back.
$20
Australian. So essentially when you look at like per day, you look at what's that, 12 is that $100 per week effectively?
That is very bad. But because on Wednesdays usually I would just take a bus from city back to where we live right now, and it's not really that bad.
No, it's very easy
here.
Very easy.
$2.8.
Yeah, so I'll go back, just out of this back out again, sorry. So essentially it'd be 3 buses that would get you from Huonville, that's where I used to live, to Hobart.
Yes.
That was literally $20 a day.
Wow.
The buses. I think it was around 10 at the time, and then if you had like a card or something, a discount, it was like $10. But it was around $20 a day, I'm pretty sure, and that would mean it was $100 a week. Whereas and then you've got to line up for the bus, you've got to be there at a particular time. Most of the time, if you miss the first bus, you have to catch the second bus. The second bus would be, 6:40 at night, so you wouldn't get home until like nearly 8 o'clock at night. So you're better off just driving anyway.
Yeah, that's why if you can drive a car, you will own your own car and drive it every day.
And that costs a lot in its own. So, like talking about fuel prices.
Yes.
When fuel prices hit their peak, we're pretty lucky because we've only got a little hybrid car to run. So it's about probably 80, maybe 2 weeks out of a tank. If we go on road trips over the weekend, obviously we'll probably empty the tank. But we've also got like a full drive that we use for camping majority of the time. If we had to run that all the time, that'd be scary.
Yeah, that's why we're not using it as a daily basis.
Definitely.
We just use it when we can little escape.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But we can sometimes have the Prius as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the next one is about car insurance. For my car, mine is a really old car and it has many Ks on it, so that my car insurance, I just bought a third-party one because it's so old and so cheap when I got it. It is around $10 per month.
So third party basically covers you for if you hit someone else.
Yeah.
So the insurance company would then cover the liability for that particular party. So third party is that person, their car or property, so it will cover you for quite an amount of money. Usually most insurances is 20 million will cover you for.
Not bad.
But yeah, essentially if you write the car off yourself, then that means that you have to account that cost yourself. You have to wear that cost yourself because you've written your car off. So you'd either have to repair it yourself at cost, or basically just write the car off yourself and then go and buy another car. So But I have full comprehensive insurance on the full drive we own, which is obviously more expensive. But if the car gets written off by any reason, we're out full driving and rolled it or something, the car would be covered for what it's insured for. Yeah, so we paid, I can't remember what we paid for it, but if we crashed it, wrote it off, it'd be about 30, 35 grand, something around that.
So the insurance for a Ranger, it is around $80 per month.
About that, That's expensive. Definitely.
How about Rego?
Registration actually covers you for a couple of different things. Obviously, part of the registration is for maintaining roads, etc. And then you've also got the other part is MAIB, which is actually an insurance that's covered within the registration. So if you're actually injured in a road incident with your vehicle that involves your vehicle or whatever, you're actually covered in that respect. So MAIB would actually take care of you in that instance. So if you got injured pretty badly, broke an arm or something, or broke a leg in a car, and you couldn't work for that time period, so MAIB would cover you for that, as well as the rehabilitation costs to get you back walking again or using your arm again. That'd be covered under MAIB. So that's what your registration is mostly composed of. And then you've obviously got to pay the government as well. You've got to pay to go. So yeah, that's another thing.
Right. So different car, different model, different year, different KMS that one car has, it will require different rego fee for that. My old car is around $52 per month. How about our four-wheel drive?
It's a lot more expensive because it's got more cylinders. So it actually goes with cylinders. So if you've got less cylinders, it's actually less to register. Same as electric vehicles, they seem to be significantly less to register because they just simply don't have cylinders. So they're actually, I think it's to do with emissions, and then the range is quite expensive because that's diesel and 5-cylinder. And then the less cylinders that you have and displacement, you actually pay less registration. So I can't remember what the rego on the Ranger was.
Should be around $63 per month.
So what we worked?
Yes.
Yeah, about that. So
right.
Far out.
So we're paying around $115 together for the rego. Ooh. So the next one is going for shopping. Groceries. How much do we pay and what kind of food we usually buy?
Well, I eat a fair bit of meat, and obviously meat's quite expensive, and I love veggies. I don't really like a lot of processed foods. I don't really eat a lot of processed crap. So so we usually get the best of the best. And you're a vegan as well, so effectively
it's not that bad.
No, not that bad at all. So we sort of just split the cost as much as we can, and then I sort of offset that cost with paying a bit more of the meat. But yeah, probably about $150 a week. Estimated.
And we don't usually buy products that are on the original price. Usually when we saw something like on sale, and we'll buy a bunch of it, and then we can use it for the rest of the weeks.
Definitely.
For a period of time to save your money.
Like recently, when Yan Yan decided to go on a shopping spree at Chemist Warehouse, was it? Or was it Priceline?
It's Priceline.
Priceline.
They're all on sale, like half price. I couldn't miss it, you know.
I was there in bed about probably 7 o'clock in the morning. The door was nearly got bashed down. The postman was there banging on the door. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I can't remember ordering anything online.
Because I ordered.
And then I went and had a look outside, and here's a box sitting there. And I opened it up, and there was absolutely no word of a lie, about 15 toothpaste, like Colgate toothpaste.
Half price.
And I was like, what in the world? Did you rob a bank? And then all this other stuff like moisturiser and all that. It was awesome.
All those daily necessities that we need.
If we run out of toothpaste anytime soon, it's something to worry about.
It must be the dog.
Anyway.
Okay.
Give me a sec.
So we do have a dog, and the dog food is it expensive?
A little bit, yeah. Like I think everything you buy for an animal, or like a cat, a dog, etc., is just so expensive. Like if you had to buy harnesses or leads, anything, you're just better off buying it online because you go into a shop like Pet Barn or whatever the other ones are. You're looking at probably $20 for like a flea comb, or you're looking at like, you know, $40 for a lead. You're looking at you know, $60 to $80 for a harness. Like, and you go online, you can literally buy these things
much cheaper,
significantly cheaper. And then the food. So I looked at importing the food myself, like trying to get it from the mainland, just to try and make it cheaper. And it ends up being more expensive.
Also the shipping? Or?
Yeah, because the postage, it's such heavy things and you pay more in freight than what it is to get it. So unfortunately, unless you make your own at home, you're trapped. You have to actually buy it through the pet shops. And the best way I've figured to do that is if you use one supplier and every single time you buy, they usually give you a 15% discount on the next batch of food.
Pet expenses per month is around $60 per month.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Sometimes a little higher, a little bit less, but it works out to be about that. Absolutely. Right. And all these grooming, like the dog grooming, I got a dog pretty much as low maintenance as possible. Was one thing that I was like, you know, if I ever buy a dog, ever buy a cat, I don't want to buy a poodle that needs constant grooming or a Shih Tzu that needs constant grooming. It's just, you know, it's just a pain in the butt. So with ours, he's very low maintenance. He's got long hair, but he's extremely low maintenance.
So we are using our mobile phone every single day, so we need those mobile plans as well. For my mobile plan, I use Telstra, which is a yearly plan, but when you divide it by 12 months, it costs me around $20 per month. How about yours? Mine's
about 80. So I bought a phone in the plan. So the plan's actually quite cheap. It's the phone that's expensive. So I think that it's about $80 for me, but that's paying the phone off within 2 years. And then the plan was about $35, I think, all up. So the rest of that on top of the phone cost.
It's not bad. And there are always some really good on sale plan here, like on Black Friday or end of the year, I can see Boost, which is some of the network that they will use from Telstra. They will be like having 50% or less. I mean, 30 to 50% off for the yearly plan, which is a really good chance for you to switch to a better company with cheaper plan.
Definitely. The other thing as well, I just want to say, just in terms of rentals and stuff, so our mortgage is actually very cheap in comparison to what we get. But if you was renting, the cost would probably go up from $1,700 a month, probably over $2,000 with the way the rental costs are at the moment. Because your median rent cost for what we live in would be about $550 a week. And then if you wanted something probably a bit bigger, say 4 bedroom, you're probably looking at $600 a week plus, unless you sort of know someone that may sell it to you, or allow you to rent it cheaper. But yeah, that's your sort of median rent prices and stuff. And then you've obviously got, you don't have to pay rates in that either. You don't have to pay your water, electricity, and obviously your insurance for your contents. So you'd save money there, but overall your big killer would be your rent.
Yeah, definitely. So before I moved in to live with Stewi, I live on my own, I mean in a share house with other housemates. It is around $180 per week. And then...
How many people?
Oh, that was a lot.
Yeah, so imagine how much the rent would be just if you wanted to rent it on your own.
Yeah, but everything is included, like the water bill, the electricity, the Wi-Fi bill, all included. So it's not bad, and it's more easier for you to rent a house in a share house than renting as a couple and find a house. It's
a nightmare here in Tasmania. Tasmania is the worst. It's a massive rental shortage. Like about probably 5-6 years ago, Airbnb was becoming a pretty big thing down here. A lot of people Airbnb their houses down here, and it's causing a massive problem for like rental properties here. So
crazy.
And then if you want to rent with a pet, if you've got a pet or something as well, or you know, it's extremely difficult for people to find. I had a mate from WA, she moved back over here to be with her family. She tried to get a rental and she was just looking for months and months. She had to live in with other people, with her parents and stuff, because she just couldn't find anything. She was actually shocked at how hard it was to get a rental. She did manage to get one finally, but she had to pay a lot more than what she wanted to pay. And it was a little bit further out than she wanted to be as well. So, you know, you've got to factor that in. If you've got a budget for your rent, just maybe put a little bit more in there. Another interesting story I got told with rentals in Tasmania. One of my mates, him and a partner were going to get a rental within Sandy Bay, which is very close to the CBD of Hobart. Yeah. They went there, and the people, or the real estate who were actually administering the actual rental, suggested that they put an offer in for the rent. So instead of actually paying, this is going to be $400 a week, they're like, you have to make an offer. And they're like, oh, we'll make, you know, $550, that should be heaps, because it's only a 2-bedroom unit, that should be heaps. They didn't get it. So it almost, they were like, so obviously someone's gone in there and said, oh, we'll pay $600 a week for this place. And they're like, yep, no worries, we'll put you in. So that's another thing, like, it's not even like ethical selling or ethical renting anymore. It's like, whoever's going to pay the most is basically going to be in there. That's as simple as it is. And it's the way it's been, and the way it is going, and the way that things are ramping up. I've got another friend of mine who's got multiple properties and rents them out, and he has to put all these prices up because of the cost of the interest rates that have gone up as well. So that puts even more stress on renters to find a house to move into. And then if you want to buy a house, forget it.
not now in Tasmania. It's crazy.
Unless you're loaded, just forget it. Or go to West Australia, Perth. Like, that's it. You know, you're looking at Perth, you're probably going to buy a house. It's going to be a lot easier to buy. You're still going to have to pay extra stamp duty because you're not permanent resident, but you've got a lot more choice over there than what you do here in Tassie. Tassie's just bonkers.
Unless you love winter, come here.
If you love the cold, you'll love it. But if you don't, I suggest you go to Perth.
Let's sit down here 1 second. I'll just take the calculator and then. So we have just calculated the monthly expenses for us.
I don't think it's at all accurate.
No, it's not accurate.
It'd be close.
It is close but not accurate because we dine out a couple of days per week.
We didn't actually factor that in though. So apparently, according to our calculator, it says $2,720, which is enormous. I think we actually have to go through this a little bit more in closer detail.
Definitely. So if we divide the total by 2, each of us should probably contribute around 1,300 each a month. Yes.
I don't think that's accurate, but
it's just a rough idea for you guys to know how much you need to spend every month if you live as a couple.
Which is a lot of money. It wasn't like that. I remember when I first bought the house, and I was on my own, like working out all the bills and stuff. And I had my budget was like really strict, what I could spend and everything. I didn't factor in a lot of stuff. But obviously the price of everything going up with interest rates and everything. If I hadn't have met you, I don't know if I'd be able to sort of afford to stay in the place. I'd be like, I might as well just rent it out, move back home and save money. But
this is very common right now in Tasmania. People cannot afford houses and move back to where their parents live. It is quite sad though. It is.
There's a big thing going on at the moment. You see a lot of it on the media, social media, that a lot of younger people are sort of moving back home and even renting their houses out because they simply just can't afford to live in them. And I don't know what that will mean moving forward as well. Because obviously there's a lot more people out there now that are single as well buying houses. And as opposed to like couples doing it, it's probably just, I reckon the statistics would be 50-50. I might be wrong, but if you're doing it alone, it would be tough unless you're on a very good income. But then you've got this other dilemma of you're probably working 85 to 90% of the time to pay for everything. So you've got no life balance, which I disagree with. I don't understand why you work any more than 50% of your life.
That's why we're going to travel around the world soon.
We are.
Hopefully.
We are. Please.
Alright, I reckon that's it for the day, for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Where's our dead Shan?
No, it is. It's dead. It's down.
Alright.
It's not dead. It's actually just asleep.
Yes, that's why it's so quiet right now, so that we can make things. Alright. Say goodbye to my Hong Kong friends.
Say goodbye to them?
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Alright, see you guys in the next video.